Yeah, we find her, that beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. So I got so the remix.
DMB, Tux Bites, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give it the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like them other dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us in your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. Within it took a long fine eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the pen station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so tough. I felt the sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. And now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, a killing eye. I found me a beautiful girl.
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a cocoa bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk, she must be from a planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger, we look good together. Take your place in my heart with your beauty. I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl. Beautiful girl, yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money. You seen her? Hot Ice. Have you seen her? LP. Have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look.
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time, I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace several presents and gifts. Call me Santa. Claus, I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours.
cause the girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me Aston Kutcher, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'm a go-getter. Since I'm a go-getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, oh, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing tight. I found a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Ladies and gentlemen of prestige, how on a day? What's going on? Welcome back. This is Ola coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. How's everyone doing? If you can hear me loud and clear, please do let me know. Let me make sure that the audio and the visuals and everything is going well. If you can just let me know, and then we can get started. Let me know you can hear me loud and clear, and then we can get started. If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know. If you can't hear me, can you hear me? Everybody can hear me? Can you hear me? Yes. I do see Gorex Corner. I see Isabel. I see D-Love, my love. Can you hear me? Loud and clear? Yes? How's everyone doing? Can you hear me? Everybody? Somebody said music is too loud. Really? So you can't hear me? Let me make sure. You can't hear me. That's interesting. You can hear me loud and clear, right? There's no way the music is too loud. The music is very, very low. Loud and clear? All right, good. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's get started. Right. Today's Thursday. The 19th of January. Welcome back. Shout out to Rebecca. I see you. Rebecca was the first person to comment here. Shout out to you, Rebecca. Good to see you. D-Love, you were on time today. Welcome. That's our sponsor of the show right now. Thank you so much. Gorex Corner, welcome. Isabel, welcome. For Life Esther, good to see you. We've never heard any complaint about the music. It's set very, very low. So unless something completely terribly went wrong with our setup since yesterday. But do let me know if you guys have a consensus. We can turn it down. Let's see here. Who else do we have here? We have Treasure Desire. Good to see you. All right, welcome back. Today we have to talk about FUNKE Akindele and her estranged husband. But before we get into that, by the way, we do have quite a few stories to cover today. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Okay, hit that like button as you're coming in. Do me a favor. Yes. Let's see. Okay, I think we're only missing 2 right now. Just hit that like button. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that. And if you're not yet a part of the Prestige family on WhatsApp, you can join using this website address, but you have to go through your phone. www.lolaandola.com/WhatsApp. And if you're having trouble with that, you can just send a nice WhatsApp text message only to this phone number, and then we'll get you added. Okay. All right. Also, you can see here that I have 4 books I've written. You can have access to all the 4 books. One of them is about relationship that I wrote with my wife. The other one is purely about business and marketing. So you can check that out. So again, welcome to Meta Prestige. We are the Prestige family here. We talk about relationships, we talk about power, we talk about seduction, attraction, EQ, emotional intelligence, we talk about patience, we talk about love before we talk about marriage. Okay? If you don't understand these things, these other things, you will not be able to make marriage work in 2023 and beyond. Okay? You will have either man or woman, you will have a tough time. Okay, so that's what we talk about. So whatever trendy topics, we're just looking to extract lessons that has to do with this other things. All right. So again, shout out to everyone. Good to see you. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. So let's get going here. We have. I'm gonna share my screen so we can get going really quickly. There are a few other formulas that we use here. As they come up, I will basically bring them up. But today we want to talk about Funke Akindele's estranged husband. I know him as Bello. I don't know what I can't remember what his first name is. I bet we're about to find out. Let me just share my screen really quickly, and then we'll take it from there. Let's see. Oh, I know him. JJ Skills. All right. His name is JJ Skills. All right. So shout out to Linda EKG. We're going to use our story today. That guy that you're looking at right there is who we're talking about today. Yesterday, I covered some kind of quotes that he posted, something that has to do with that. He had to forgive people that I forgot what the quotes. I'll see if I can find it. But before we get into that, there's this fresh post today that came up, and I feel like we should talk about it. Okay, along with some other stories that I have to talk about today. Okay, so do me a favor, hit that like button. Thank you. Let's see here. All right, so Abdul Rashid, that's his name, Abdul Rashid Bello, aka JJC Skills. JJC, I don't know if he's doing the same thing, just to me when it just come. JJC Skills has reverted to Islam, his former religion, after his marriage to Nollywood actress turned politician. All right, let's just make sure something here. All right, turned politician Funke Akindele crashed. Okay, so in recent time we actually covered that here. He went online and started saying some gibberish about his marriage, and before you knew it, he used his own hands. Based on what I could see, like it was just bad, right? It was just bad. People had a lot to say about it. Some people that were working in their camp. He was supposed to be his Igbakeji. He was supposed to be the person next in ranking in terms of power hierarchy in Funke Akindele's company, right? And but he got kicked out altogether based on the rumor at the time. According to reports, he was completely kicked out of the house, the company, everything, and basically he couldn't do it much longer. Now, at that time, I don't recall right now who served the breakfast, but from what I could see, it just sounded like it was Funke Akindele was too much of a personality for him to handle. And I would argue that for most men in these times, they probably won't be able to handle a powerful woman like Funke Akindele. Funke Akindele, by the way, is also running as a running mate with for the position of governorship of Lagos State right now. So she's a very, very powerful person. She's an actress. That's what we all know her for. But she's very powerful, In an Instagram post, he shared the singer who was originally born in Islam, which he dumped for his mother's faith, revealed that he was lost before, but he's now found. This is the exact post and quote here. And I quote, "I was lost, but now I'm found. Oh Allah, I ask you for pardon and well-being in this life and the next. Oh Allah, I ask you for pardon and well-being in my religious and worldly affairs, and my family and my wealth. Oh Allah, veil my weaknesses and set at ease my dismay. That's a good prayer, actually. And preserve me from the front and from behind. Easy. And on my right and on my left and from above, and I take refuge with you, lest I be swallowed up by the earth. All right. So he posted that, Then he continues, and I quote, "Old things shall pass away, and new things shall come our way. May Allah." What is SWT? Anybody knows? Is that some kind of Muslim acronym? I'm not sure what that is. Anyway, continually, may Allah continually do new things in our lives. Amen. I pray Allah light every path we follow, gives us the wisdom and guidance to every step we take. Bless every decision we make and make us excel in our aspect of life. Grant us and our family our journey Firdaus. Okay, that's some kind of Muslim stuff. Anyway, he posted that speaking to Muslim news after the Instagram posts were shared, AJC News said it was God's design for him to embrace Islam. So I guess it was on a show. He says, "I was born a Muslim, Abdul Rashid by name." Okay. Now, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong. This guy he grew up in the UK, right? I think so. At least it's most of his teenage years, it sounds like, right? My dad, Bello, is the Muslim. Yes, I always knew that as a Bello, Muslim family. But my mom is a Christian. Back then, I used to go Islamaya, but is that Islamia or Islamaya? But all I remembered about it was getting beaten. Okay. It's Islamaya like Ilekeu. That's like Ilekeu, right? They used to scare us with hellfire. So, they do that in Christendom as well. So I never practiced. It's God's design. Wait. Isn't that the reason why you should practice? If they're scaring you, if you're actually scared by hellfire, that's like the more reason why you should practice, right? But that goes to tell you that when you use shaming tactics or you use fear tactics and stuff like that, it can work in either direction. It might make people rebel. It might make them become scared. They might just start acting out of complete fear, right? None of it is good. We want people to be authentic because that's the only way it's sustainable, right? All right. It has given me direction and focus. I was truly lost, but now I am found. All right. So why are we talking about this today? It's the comments, okay? The reason why we're talking about this is because of the comments, okay? Nigerian people are hilarious when it comes to comments, right? They have their own meanings that they want to assign to what is going on, right? So I thought, let's go through some of these comments, in addition to some of the other stories that we have to cover today. And then we'll take it from there. Let me see. All right. Somebody said they're struggling to hear me. Let me take a look. Something must have been wrong with the mic. Hold on 1 second, okay? So sorry about that. All right. I'm about to check right now. All right, you guys are absolutely right. Something went wrong. Hold on 1 second, okay? Just hold on 1 second. Terrible. I should have trusted my sister for life, Esther. Hold on 1 second. Just hold on 1 second, okay? Something must have happened with the microphone. Can you guys hear me? You can hear me now, right? But it's probably still struggling. All right, looks like I'm struggle streaming too. All right, what's Can you hear me now? All right, so I'm gonna have to refresh. All right, let's do this. I just killed it. I just killed it, but it looks like I'm struggle streaming too, right? The pictures are choppy. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. All right, just in there. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. All right, let's see. How's everyone doing, by the way? Oh, all right. Let's do it like this. All right. So, I mean, we've always had the music. Let me see here. How's this? Can you guys hear me right now? How's this? Can you hear me right now? Just let me know if you can hear me or not. Okay? Yeah. How's this right now? You probably can hear me, right? So sorry, guys. I don't know what happened. Jesus Christ. We interrupted the story to make sure we can hear you loud and clear. All right. All right, let's do it like this. All right, we should be good now. We should be good. Are we good? Yes. Wait, what just happened? That is completely weird. All right. Can you hear me now? Oh, I know why. All right, it's a glitch. It's a glitch on All right. Let me just I have to rewire a few things. Hold on 1 second. All right. All right. Let's kill it completely. Let's do that. Better now? Yes. Yes. Somebody say yes. Better. Oh god. Anyway, that's Extreme Yard's problem. Yeah. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen again because I've lost the pages. We have to bring the pages back up. All right. Let's see. All right, we're like what 25 minutes in. Okay, not bad, not bad. You guys are the best, by the way. Let's see. Uh, it's a rough stream. This is called struggle streaming, right? Somebody's like, can Ola even do the show without the music? He bets. It does help, but we're gonna do the show. Let me share my screen right now. Share screen. All right, we're back here. All right. Okay. All right. So Rebecca says, okay, no problem. No matter what happens, we are still here showing support. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I have Adeyemi here as well. I have Liz. Good to see you, Liz. All right, good. So the response that let me just go ahead and mute this. One of the response that I see somebody say here is simp. It's simp, right? That's probably a man who said that. And somebody says, "Wow, that means you weren't a man before. It's just now you're realizing, oh boy, you misrode." See, Nigerians have no mercy. Oh my god, they have no mercy for anybody, especially in the comment area, right? This person says, "You dumped your religion because of a babe." Right? This is what it's at. That's why I say it's your fault, right? You dumped your religion. Like, let me tell you something. Yes, a man and a woman might dump if they're not strong enough in the first place with their religion, they would yes, they might dump their religion. For remember the conversation we had yesterday about Prince Harry, right? Somebody that's basically shooting all type of blanks at their own family because of a wife. Especially if this is what you were raised with. I personally think it's a bad idea. Why? Because it's not authentic. Like if you're going to convert to some kind of religion, I think it's much more sustainable if it comes from your own personal conviction, right? But also easy, right? What about sometimes you meet somebody and they make you realize that you've always wanted to be that in that religion anyway. You've always been more attracted to the teachings of that religion. That's also possible, right? But of course, the online monitoring spirit, they have no mercy, right? Now I believe everything Soso said about you. Now I don't recall if Soso said anything about him. But I would be interested in what that is. Soso is a music industry from what I recall. Just park one side, I beg. And he's even making it public on social media. Bruh. Just go get some dresses and join Pop Risky. Men don't roll like that. Funke is really better without you. My show. These people. Anyway, today. Oh, come on. What? Funke! I don't know what StreamYard is doing, but let's keep going here. I think somebody was helping me earlier. I'm trying to see. Thank you, by the way, Toby and For Life Esther. Let's see. He found religion. Yep. And these are some of the issues again. Religion, religion is one of those things that 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 can become a distraction. Listen, let's take it easy. Some people they get very sensitive when you talk about religion, right? Why? Because it's part of people's identity, right? People take it very personally, right? But you know, let's see. Uh, let's see. There was something else I was looking for in the comment. Somebody, I think somebody was trying to help me with the SWT, right? I thought I saw that before I realized that the music was destroying our stream. Just let me see if I can find it. All right, let's keep it moving. Somebody was trying to help me, but if you can, please come back. Um, eh, at the end of the day, we knew JJC as an entertainer, right? We just most people didn't know him, right? Until he got married to Funke Akindele, right? But we knew him as an entertainer. So, and he also dropped everything. Okay, what does the title say? The title says Abroad Man Married Funke Akindele, and this happened. Well, what happened, right? Well, he got married to Funke Akindele. There's a good chance that this is a man who had unrealistic expectation of a woman of that status. Okay, you come back from Yankee or London and you're like, oh, after all, you're a Yankee. And truth be told, some of these celebrities too, correct me if I'm wrong, when they get with anybody from the Yankee or from the Jand or from the abroad, they can't think straight, right? For obvious reasons, right? Some of them want the pali. The pali is not your mate, right? But when everything starts to play out, if you've been together with this person first year, second year, third year, what happens? Well, in addition to see finish that will basically hit all of us, right? The true color of people start to show up, right? Let me go back to the comments and finish, right? Of course, some people appreciated it. Alhamdulillah, Allah Bakar, right? Confused man, he's no longer cashing out from Funke, so Islam is now the next cash cow. That is not nice. Jesus Christ. Listen, let me tell you something. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something, right? Women, your experience, not particular women, because some of you are getting ready to say, no, this is not women's fault, okay? Just romantic relationships in general will take you there. Can we all agree to that? Romantic relationships in general will take you into that space. Am I wrong? Am I right? The experience, bad experiences with romantic relationship will take you into that space. You might just start to get confused, right? You might just remember, I keep telling you, you will question everything you've ever believed in. Everything that you've ever believed in will be questioned in when you come out of a bad relationship. It might not even be a bad relationship. All you have to do is have bad experience. Well, what do you mean? There's bad relationship and there's bad experience. Well, the other person may feel like you're just whining, like you're just complaining, like there was nothing wrong with your marriage, there was nothing wrong with the relationship. But you might have felt like, nah, this was a prison sentence, right? That happens, and it's very important that you think of it that way, because if you don't think of it that way, you won't be able to fix the issues. The issues comes from you are having an experience, right? And you're not able to see that the other person may be having a different experience. What does that make the other person? That makes them evil, right? Especially because now you are seeing it as, you know what, you just want to be mean, you just want to be wicked, right? Whereas they are just another human being going through a completely different life experience. And if you continue to refuse to understand this, when you get into your next situation, the same thing will show up again. The same issues will show up again because it's still you, and you tend not to realize that other people have different experiences, right? And the other person will, in fact, have different experience. But you'll be there arguing like, no, you're a liar. It's just a lie. Like, remember that the La Truth story that we covered yesterday? You just lying. You just lying. You didn't do that. Why? Because people have different experiences. And especially when it comes to people's emotions. Okay. So somebody said confused people. Of course. Of course. This type of situation. So think about it. Ladies, even if you can't relate, think about if this was your son, right? He goes into a relationship, he dropped everything in London and he decided to join his beautiful wife. The whole world knows her, everybody knows who she is, right? And she's a superstar. In fact, everyone is happy because everyone is kind of starstruck a little bit, slash, like my son got that, right? My son bagged a whole Funke Akindele. And then it comes out years later and said, this is how I was maltreated. Well, if you're a typical woman, you will probably believe your son's side more because what your son becomes inside of a relationship, you don't know. Can we all agree to that? What your children become in a romantic relationship, you will never know because they're not in a romantic relationship with you, right? So when he tells you the side of the story, when he's telling you that story, he, is the guy. It's remember, it's in the vibe of he's talking to mommy or he's talking to daddy, right? Or she's talking to daddy. Your son, your daughter that you always knew is the one talking to you, right? So you just see it as like, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense because he has filters on, right? He has that filter on, right? Not like they always put filter on with you before, but they go back to that persona that you've always known them as. They become somebody else when they are doing care with another person in the bedroom on a regular basis. That person gets access to a part of them that you've never had access to, and it triggers some type of behavior that you might have never seen before, right? So unless you actually catch them in the act, which is also unlikely, right? You would just end up just like, oh god, like, unless you have a certain level of wisdom that most people don't have. Because we all have bias. We all have our biases. And especially when we're talking about your own children, you have your bias. Your bias is your bias. What you believe is what you believe. And it's called belief system because it's not something you can deliberately control like that, right? So somebody says four wives loading, right? So I have a question. I've noticed that quite a few men that have problems with modern men, they tend to be more interested in Islam as a religion. Does this have anything to do with the allowance for four wives? What do you think? Right? Does this have anything to do with that? What y'all think, man? Do you think it's because I'm sure the ladies were like, yeah, of course. I'm just wondering, right? Right? Because again, if you were never really a polygamist, shout out to Yola Doce, there's a good chance you're not going to be a polygamist because this has to do with people's belief system, their identity, what they've always known. Right? This has everything to do with that. All right, let me see here. Lee says he could have remained Muslim. I believe Islam allows Muslim men to marry women of other faiths. Do they? Are you a Muslim, Liz? Your name is Elizabeth, I'm guessing. I don't think so. I don't think they outrightly allow people to go marry from. I don't think there's a faith in this world that allow people to marry from another faith. I think people become rebels. They fall in love with what they fall in love with, and they end up marrying somebody else. Okay, I was one of them. Right? But you best believe that there was pushback when my parents found out that I'm marrying a person that's from a Muslim background. Just in case you didn't know, now you know. Yes, Lola is from a Muslim background. She never really practiced. Maybe that made things a little bit easier, but there was pushback, and it created a bunch of issues for us too. At a certain junction point. So I do believe he's looking for some attention. I don't think it's deliberate. I think there's something about the internet when we've gone through something that makes us feel like we want. I don't know if you know what I mean. Like you kind of need people's validation. It's more so validation that people are looking for, and it's kind of easy to kind of get that from your followers, uh, unless you really really mess up, you know. Good to see you, brother Patrick. Good to see you. Right. When the baby mama was giving Funke back to back, where was his religion? He disappeared. That was a good part of the story, right? So not too long ago, shortly after. Well, let me think. I think okay, the baby mama was shooting a bunch of shots, stray bullets at Funke. I think that was shortly before they broke up, right? And part of the stories that was coming through the sun at the time was that things were bad. There was fire on the mountain, right? Let's see here. Out of all the Abrahamic religions, Islam is the most patriarchal in nature. So perhaps they feel more in control as a man when practicing that religion. I think it has to do with that, you know. And then also, people that practice Islam also tend to be a little bit more stoic in what they believe in, as in like they don't just change with the times, right? So I think that's part of the reason. Like, so people like, oh, this world is getting bad. Everyone is getting, you know, women are becoming modern, and they're ending up in, you know, all this different rhetorics and talking points, right? So I think Christianity tends to allow Christians tend to be a little bit more progressive. Okay, I think that's what it is. So I do think it's not just because of the four wives. That may be a part of it. Like, after all, you're allowed to marry up to four wives. So if I start dating someone, even though I already have a wife at home, the person will easily understand. And also, there's quite a few young girls coming out on the social media and saying things like, "I'm Islam. I'm, you know, in our faith, we're allowed to do that, right?" But the issue is, I don't think that's the issue. I don't think the issue with this gentleman was the fact that they weren't allowed to marry multiple wives in the first place. I think the issues were deeper than that. And I think that problem that they might be running away from, might be, being the keyword phrase, is still going to show up even in a polygamy marriage. Okay? I think it's still going to show up. If you're not a man of your word, if you're not a man that know how to live your life with your full chest, with some integrity, honor, right? I think it will show up in any type of marriage practice you take on, right? So if you're running into a religion to think you're going to solve that problem like that, no, it's not going to. It's not going to work. Could it work? You know, that situation was messy. JJ's son put them all on blast. Yes, that's what happens. So when you're a certain type of man, I'm not castigating just from what I could see. It's not only just going to show up in how your wife conduct herself, it's also going to show up in how your children conduct themselves. Okay? So it's like, if the son start coming out and getting on social media and putting the whole family on blast, that son, he was 17 at the time, he didn't just fall out of the skies. He was raised by certain type of people. And you can also look at the mother, the way the mother conducted herself. That's the ex. It's like no wonder they both raised this type of young man. Okay, it's like no wonder, right? Funke left him for her sanity. I think that was pretty obvious. I don't think Funke has said anything about it. If you see any video where she said anything about the situation, let me know. I don't think she said anything about it, right? He ran to social media first, and I'm gonna try to see if I can find the statement that he made. You know, do you guys like this better without the music? If you like it better without the music, we'll stick without the music. By the way, if you like it, if I hear enough consensus, I will kill it completely. Okay, just that I have to do some workarounds with the way I have things set up in the first place, but I'm open to doing that if you guys enjoy it better. All right, so he was the one that came to the internet to announce the separation. All right, and in fact, I have that article here. I'm gonna read that in a second. Yep, this was the article right here. Abdul Rashid Bello, popularly known as JGC Skills, has announced separation from his popular actress wife, Funke Akindele. JJC made the announcement on his Instagram page, noting that things were beyond repair. Recall that the celebrity, this was what date? All right, so this was June 30, 2022. This was like 6 months ago. All right. Recall that the celebrity couple had earlier disputed a rumored breakup on Father's Day, June 19. Funke had deliberately celebrated JJC Skills on Father's Day to put the rest rumors that they had split up. Yeah, people will do that, right? Happy Father's Day, darling, even though there were rumors, right? Come on, let's stop the cap. Thank you so much for being a wonderful and caring father. We love you. God bless you. More. Bye bye, baby of life. She wrote at the time. They did in fact had twins. They have twins together, right? Taking to the comment section of the post to react, JJC reacted with, "Oh, thank you, darling. God bless and protect us. Family first. The Bellows." This was Father's Day. Father's Day is what? Sometimes in June. And then this news came out on what? June 30th. It's less than 2 weeks later, right? Where there's smoke, there's fire. There is no smoke without fire, right? So sometimes when these rumors comes out, people will be like, "Oh no, it's just a rumor." They tend to be true, you know. But anyway, they tend to be true. They're not always true, right? The veteran hardcore rapper said the last 2 years had been difficult. Wow, a whole 2 years. 2 years is not that much, by the way. Some people have been suffering for years, 5, 6, 7 years. And that Funke Akindele asked him to move out of their home 3 months ago. Wow. She served the breakfast and it looked like it was hot. "Dear friends and family," this was his quote, and I quote, "Dear friends and family, I need to let you know that Funke and I have separated." Okay. "While it lasted, we shared a lot of things together and have created 2 beautiful children. The last 2 years have been extremely difficult for us. I know I have tried my best to fix things, but I believe it is beyond repair now." Okay. So about 2 weeks ago, you were saying, "Oh, darling," but you said it is beyond repair now. Just like there's no guarantee in life, a man should not be quick to make this kind of statement. I know there's a lot of rhetoric out there. You should never allow her back, blah, blah, blah. No, you should never be so quick to announce this type of announcement, okay? Because you might just be speaking that into existence, okay? Especially if that's not what you want, okay? And there's nothing wrong. You can, in fact, move on and at the same time be open to the idea of keeping your household together. It's possible, all right? And that doesn't mean you have to hold yourself hostage. In fact, I would never ask you to hold yourself hostage, okay? 3 months ago, and at Funke's insistence, I moved out of the house. And apart from, this is an award show, I think, I've not been able to get Funke to sit down in an amicable manner to discuss the future of our relationship. Okay. It's still a honorable statement to make, I guess. I'm making this announcement so that the public is clear that we both are pursuing separate lives. We still have issues that need to be addressed, such as custody and well-being of our children, which is paramount, as well as business interest. And I think a lot of people were saying there was no business interest. He was working for her and he's effectively fired, which need to be disentangled. But I have no doubt, disentangled. Correct me if I'm wrong. She started our empire before he came into the picture. I'm not sure. But I'm sure he's helped quite a bit to get it to wherever they are right now. Wherever they were 6 months ago. But I have no doubt, I keep reading, but I have no doubt that this will be resolved one way or the other. Okay. All right, let me see here. Divorce don't turn your head upside down. These people, man. Religion is the opium of the masses. You see, I am not... when it comes to religion, I'm very careful because, again, I don't want to say anything that would tamper with people's belief system. their belief system, because it's offensive, to be frank with you. Yeah, it becomes offensive, right? So I want to be very respectful to people, but the truth of the matter is that it's what you do with religion. If you lack emotional intelligence with your religious beliefs, you go collect. You will end up in McDonald's. Okay. One of the issues with this is that I have to switch back and forth and stuff like that. And as soon as I switch, something tampers with the volume of the background music. But we move, right? All right, so let me see what you all are saying. Shout out to you, brother Patrick. Rebecca Hughes, you are right, and also his son. Funke had never come out to say anything ever since. Funke too have been dealt with in that marriage, yo. Yeah, so when she's the one that has literally never came out to say anything, that speaks volumes. Sounds like a woman that's just done. When they're not done, they come out and they start saying all kind of stuff. Another example of a person that never came out and say anything except that fake advice that she was giving some young girls a day after, which I thought was a terrible idea, was Basketmouth's wife. She never came out to say anything. That's a woman who is probably just done. Okay? At least for now. Okay? I believe they can, Ola, the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH. I don't know what that is. I have a feeling it's, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to misyan. Okay, Prophet Muhammad, like Prophet Muhammad, Ateriba, right? Married women of other faiths. Oh, okay. So they are allowed to do that. Well, they seem to frown at it from my examples I've seen. But to be honest with you, in my personal experiences, all right, this is very interesting. In my personal experience includes some examples I've seen in my personal circles. Muslims tend to be more open-minded to crossing that line of marrying somebody from another faith. Yes, I said it. Christians, now don't collect wutu wutu. That's a fact from my personal experience, so it's not a fact, right? But from what I've seen, they tend to be more open-minded. But usually the ones that are open-minded are also not the one that are, they're not the one that are praying 5 times a day either. So that's to be fair, right? I'm just saying they tend to be more open-minded. Okay. I feel if Funke don't leave him, the nonsense would stop. What was the nonsense exactly? The rumors were it was cheating, right? It was sleeping with their employees and stuff like that. That was rumors. I don't know if it's to be true. Is that what you're talking about? What nonsense are we talking about? But M was calculative. He married a wealthy woman and gained from her wealth. I guess you could say that. I don't think people are really calculative when they're making life decisions like this. I really don't think so. I think back in the days, people used to be calculative. I would definitely say that that's true from back in the days. Because of wealth building. Marriage was also part of wealth building at the time. People married into families where they want to use it as leverage to uplift themselves in society in terms of status. These days, not so much, because of social opportunities. I don't think that people find that as necessary anymore. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I true all the way believe that. But maybe, let me know if there's any other reasons why you believe that. He's indirectly a polygamist with all those baby mamas. He had only one. I thought he had only one baby mama, right? From a long time ago, 17 years ago, right? So I'm not sure if that means anything. 70 years old, very young adult. He knows more than a 70-year-old self because there was chaos in that household, in all of the households, the one in London and the one in Niger. Okay, and when you consider the fact that money is also involved, because part of the accusations and the rumors was that he was spending money anyhow, so finances will become trouble for you if you don't figure that out between you and your spouse, especially when there's a lot of money involved, right? Yes, you're right. Muslim men can marry women of other faiths, but Muslim women cannot marry men from other faiths. Oh, that's another caveat. I'm learning that for the first time. Thank you for that. He's always the one come to send a message across, even since Funke is acting more matured than JJC's skills and also considering her political journey. Exactly. So that's a big deal. If your wife tend to be a little bit more under control of her emotions than yourself, yes, you will end up in McDonald's. It's going to be bad, you know. Uh yeah, we gotta be careful, gentlemen. If you and it takes a lot of self-reflection to be able to figure this out. If you're the type that say, yeah, hey, before you even hear what word, just say, well, that's BS. What? I don't know if I need to tell you anymore, but you will end up in McDonald's.
You will end up in McDonald's.
Let's keep going here. Both are gracious. What's gracious? Jesus Christ. Them are the same at the T junction. What is that though? Like, teach me something new. What's gracious? So now Funke's house, you best believe it. Good to see you live with Natu. Hello, hello. Peace and blessings be upon you. Can you spell out the? No, I'm not gonna say it. Let me just say peace and blessings be upon him. That's Prophet Muhammad, right? I know what I'm trying to say, but right now I'm put on the spot. So I feel Muslim trend to either insist they convert their partner to Muslim. Yes, and maybe it's not part of what is written in the Quran or in their books, but it's what people practice. People tend to practice something else completely different from what is actually written in their books because religion has a spirit of its own. And that spirit has very low tolerance, okay, for anything else except that belief in general. And some people don't even read their Bible enough or their Quran enough to know that there's a space in that book that teaches you about tolerance. Because again, remember, religion by itself, as an idea itself, has its own spirit, has its own mind. So, that's something to pay attention to. Muslims and traditionalists, in my opinion, are more open than some Christians. Sorry, Christians, no shade. I just said that. You would think I read your comment. Maybe I stole it from you, D-Love, right? That's my personal experience. Christians, especially if they label themselves born again Christians, they tend to be more close-minded. Okay, but only from my experience. Maybe you have a different experience. No, he had another child aside that boy. Oh, okay. So he's been out there. He's been swimming out there for a minute, eh? I hear you. Now let me see. I think there's another let's see here. There's another statement that he made that I feel I should take a look at. Shout out to Vanguard. Let's see here. Let's have from Funke. Trying to see if I can find that statement. I think he made another statement that was completely like just not right. I was like, what is wrong with this guy? Like, he could have been right. He might have been saying something, but there's just something about the statement that tells you the state of the man's mind. The only statement that I'm seeing right now is that one that I read to you that's a little bit more has more sense to it. But yes, he has a tendency, from what we can see right now, we can see that he has a tendency to jump to social media to announce his moves, right? And there is a law that I should highlight here, right? Let me see if I can find it quickly. Okay, you have to be strategic if you have to announce anything. He could have been strategic, by the way. Maybe he has his own personal goals, right? Like somebody said earlier, I think it was Ola Olatunji. Maybe he was calculative. He knew what he was doing all along, right? Just maybe, right? Just maybe he knew what he was doing, right? But there's also this law number 3 from the 48 laws of power. Conceal your intentions. There's something about a man that tends to he tends to, if you see it as a pattern, to announce all his moves. There's something about it, right? Yes, even when they are making money from it. Okay. Money is, money is keke in Urere. I get it. We all need it, right? But money can absolutely destroy you. The obsession with money, the scriptures call it the love of money is the root of all evil. I love money too. But when I say the love of money, when the scripture says love of money, I think it's talking about the obsession. When all your moves is calculated out of how much money you can gain, as we move more and more into the future, this becomes more of a truth. Okay? This actually becomes more of a truth as we move more further and further into the future. Because you should do nothing against, you shall do nothing against, but for the truth, right? The truth is undefeated. It doesn't need your help. In fact, the more you say, I'm telling the truth, the higher the chances you're actually lying through your white teeth or your brown ass teeth, right? But the truth needs nobody's help. Results and reality is the truth. All you have to do is look at your results and see what kind of result you're creating. You have a version of the truth right there. Maybe not 100%, because remember, it's still a journey and we're still in the middle of it, right? But when people say, "Oh, I'm just telling the truth," like, nah, you're not telling the truth. Stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
All right. And by the way, I do say that sometimes. I do say, because it's a talking point, it doesn't really mean anything. It's like, that's facts. It doesn't really mean anything. There's a good chance that you're just uttering your opinions, So that's that right there. Let me see if you guys are saying something. Then we'll move on to the other stories that we have here today. I just think he has a tendency to announce himself on the social media, and he has like condescending things in between. Like, for example, in that statement, this is what I highlighted the last time I covered this, and I'm gonna point it out again because I think it's very important to point it out again. Okay, when you come out and you make a PR statement, a statement that's designed for PR, right? If you come out and make a statement, you can say, "Dear friends and family, I need to let you know that Funke and I have separated." It's perfect. There's nothing wrong with that. While it lasted, we shared a lot of things together and have created 2 beautiful children. Facts, nothing but facts, right? The last 2 years have been extremely difficult for us. This is not necessary, gentlemen. I know this tells me he was caught up in his feelings and he felt the need to tell the whole world that it's our fault. The whole world are made up of people. They are spirits, monitoring spirits. They have incredible radar for bullshit. They can tell when you're trying to say something, but you're not saying it with your full chest. This is not necessary. I know I have tried my best to fix things, but I believe it is beyond repair now. There's no accountability in this statement. Okay? Because you're literally throwing her right under the bus. Why not? Why can't I throw her under the bus? After all, it's the truth. No, that's your truth. She might actually believe otherwise. She might have actually had a different experience. No, but all that, this is what's wrong. You pander to women. Facts are fact. No, bro. You want me to pander to you, and I refuse to pander to you. The truth, see, I just said it, right? The truth is that you have your experience and other people have their experience. And as a man leading your own household, it's very important that you know how to make public relationship type of statements. You have to know how to conceal your intentions. Okay? You have to know how to speak for the public. You have to understand the level, the same issues that's going on with Prince Harry right now. You have to understand that it's not always what it seems like, including with yourself, including your intentions may be clouded right now. These are the particular reasons why you have to be careful with how you speak when it comes to public, right? Because everything you say, even if it's truth, facts, or a fact, a statement that can be used against you. So you need a little bit more than your knowledge of what you know happened. You need some wisdom. So this statement was not necessary. We can all tell that you're trying to throw her under the bus. What is the state of the mind of a man who just came out of a situation like this, who is also actively trying to throw their ex under the bus? That type of man is going to self-hurt. 3 months ago, and at Funke's insistence, I moved out of the house. I believe that's true. We don't necessarily need to know that. Okay? For your own good, as a matter of fact. Okay? I moved out of the house. Apart from the award show, what is that, AMVCA, I've not been able to get Funke to sit down in an amicable manner. You're telling us that she's a very stubborn human being. I think a lot of people believe that Funke is a very stubborn human being. As a matter of fact, part of the rumors that came out over the last 1 or 2 years is that she doesn't have good working relationships with her employees. Those rumors are out there. So nobody is questioning if this is true or not. The problem is that you are a man who is willing to throw the mother of your kids under the bus for attention. Okay? I'm making this announcement so that the public is clear that we both are pursuing separate lives. Again, you're not concealing your intentions. We kind of know when you make a statement that is public statement. It's like public records. It's like the city announces divorce, announces foreclosure, announces public records. We kind of know that you need to make that announcement. All right. So it's like this extra shalaye in your statement. We still have issues. And we know because obviously you're separating. These are the issues, okay? Yes, I'm nitpicking the words, but it tells you a lot. These are the issues when people find themselves, people in general, let's just say, yes, also people in general, but especially a man, okay? You find yourself in a position where you have to over-explain yourself, okay? Particularly from a place of emotions. We're not talking about his business. We're not talking about your creating content. Particularly from a place of emotions. Like there's nothing else you get out of this outside of you soothe your emotions a little bit. The feeling that you get from that, the validation you get from that will be temporary. It's not permanent. Now, let me say this before I leave this story alone. Religion can absolutely help you find purpose. Depends on how you do it, of course, right? Religion can help you find purpose. Very important to know, okay? It helps a lot of people. Some people are just not capable of, just emotional intelligence society. Some people, religion help them find peace, okay? So when you see somebody says, you know what, I'm engaging Christianity at this level, I am changing my life, learn how to respect it because that may just be what they need to find peace. Okay? Very, very important. All right. He too, baby mama, married to Funke. Two baby mama. Well, he also used to gather Muslims to support him. I bet the guy is seriously chasing. Oh, okay. Yeah, I hear you. The message he dropped about returning back to his birth religion was he trying to insinuate that Christianity is bad by saying Allah should forgive him? No, I wouldn't take it as that. We have to be very, very stoic in our belief that people should have freedom of religion. I don't necessarily think so. If anything, maybe just the clout. It needs, maybe not clout. Maybe he needs validation from the public. And that's a bad idea. All in general. Obviously, they are both players. I don't want to be a player no more. Are you saying Funke is messing around too? Is that what you're saying? Do people know this? Was this a rumor out there? He's only posting for clouds because Funke's new movie is selling all over the world. Funke is a powerful woman. The one feels most hurt tends to be the one who talks the most. Yes. Or the one that lacks self-control, emotional self-control to be particular, right? Which is also, I guess we can use that interchangeably with hurt because everyone is hurt when you come out of that kind of situation, to be honest, including the children. Like that child, that 17-year-old boy was hurt, even though he would have received some as a boy, he would have received slap from you. I would have served him slap. So I think the father, I just wouldn't have recorded it. I think it was being recorded, if I remember. Was it recorded? Well, there was a story of how he was trying to beat in public and stuff like that. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. And 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 to push back at myself here, it's always a bad idea to try to raise your hands at your teenagers. It's assault, and it's you being angry, and it doesn't really help. Just so you know that. Okay. All right, so let's do this. I have got a few more stories that I want us to cover since we got some time, right? Some interesting lessons that we can cover today. And then let's take it from here on out. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. All right, so we're back to Prince Harry. I know I mentioned him a little bit. We're back to Prince Harry. There's this lady that came out. Shout out to Linda AKG. We're covering this from lindaakgblog.com. And there's this story that came out that's so as I see more stories that confirm what we said about him a few days ago and some other coverage I've done, I will highlight them for you just so you know that I promise I'm not talking from my ass. Okay. There's some things that I know and they're not perfect, but and that's the whole point. They're not supposed to be perfect. Okay. So some Samantha Markle, who is a stepsister to Meghan Markle, came out to throw him under the bus. But she's not popular, so she can get away with it, right? A Prince Harry cannot get away with throwing his family under the bus. It's a bad idea. I still think it's a bad idea. There's no better way to tell me that you're stuck in your childhood. You never really grew up, right? I saw a statement from Candace Owen earlier saying that the therapy is teaching him everything to do. I love therapy. I think more and more people continue to need to engage therapy, but I also think that people misuse therapy. Okay, they misuse counseling. I spoke about that yesterday, right? They go there to argue. They go there to look for opportunities to blame their partner. They're not really going there to learn anything about themselves. Bad idea. Okay? There's too many people coming out of therapy to come out and blame their partner. And if you know anything about this platform, we don't do blame, we don't do shame, we don't do judgment, we don't do condemnation, we don't do guilt, especially self-guilt, blame, right? Shaming, all right? It's not necessary. Not especially if you're looking for a good outcome from addressing the person, right? And especially if you're a person of a certain status, you can't engage the blame game. It just doesn't work out. It has bad results, okay? Yes, you might end up pulling the empire down. Yes, the empire might need to be pulled down, but you self go collect in that process, all right? And net positive, net negative, I think it's net negative for you. If you don't know how to move with wisdom, if all you operate out of is right and wrong, black and white, it's a bad idea, okay? Because the world we live in just doesn't operate like that, okay? Samantha Markle, 58, has slammed her brother-in-law, Prince Harry. Samantha, who is the half-sister of Meghan Markle, called the Duke of Sussex emotionally underdeveloped. I have to agree with her. Following the release of his memoir, Spare. Now, he's 38 years old. He's doing a memoir at 38. Particularly because he's had multiple lifespans in that 38 years. He probably has like about 100 human lives in that 38 years because frankly, because of the experience of living, of being raised in that type of situation, Granted, it's rough on them, right? No privacy, but when you say privacy, privacy with respect to what? What is the frame of reference? Did he ever know privacy? What was privacy to him? Because he learned privacy from some type of lifestyle. If he was removed from everyone who walks around the street free and put into that system, I would understand a little bit more. But this is all he's ever known. The only thing I'm forced to call this is rebellion. And of course, emotionally underdeveloped. Appearing on GB. What is GB for those of you in UK? Is that a program? What is GB? Right? Appearing on GB. Let me see here. Appearing on GB News. Is that Great Britain news? Is that what that means? Dan Wooten tonight, Wednesday, January 18. Samantha accused Harry of not being able to think like an adult. Or she appeared on there, right? That he's not able to think like an adult. I think he's lacking in empathy, remorse, and shame, Samantha said. He's showing a clear disconnect with reality and is so emotionally underdeveloped that he can't move on from this stage where he has resentment over a whole host of issues. Can we all agree that he's suffering from resentment? Resentments can come from an authentic place, but they all tend to do the same thing. They don't allow you to move forward. They get you stuck. Right? So, and to come out of resentment, you need to work on yourself. You need healing because obviously there are real reasons why people resent. So this is not me even saying it's a lie. Some people say it's a lie. No, I don't think it's a lie. I don't think it's lying. I don't think he's I don't think he has ulterior motive. I think he's doing what he thinks is the right thing to do. But he will end up in McDonald's. He might end up in McDonald's. I don't think he can think like an adult because I don't think emotionally he is one. She added, Samantha accused the Duke, 38, of playing an attention game. So that part I disagree with. Yes, he's seeking attention, but it's more so because he's looking for validation. Okay, let's dig in a little bit deeper here. Let me see here with 6 human basic needs, right? What do you think that Prince Harry is looking for in these 6 things right here? We all of us. It doesn't matter. This is a holistic theory here. Okay, what do you think he's looking for? Right? Is he looking for certainty? Is he looking for variety? Is he looking for significance? Is he looking for connection? He might be looking for multiples of this, by the way. What about growth? What about contribution? What do you think Prince Harry is looking for? Right? Do you think he's looking for certainty, variety, significance, connection, growth, or contribution? I'm not sure if he's looking for growth. I don't think so. I don't think this is a need for him. Contribution, I think he might be getting the sense of he's contributing to other people by saying, let's pull down this empire. They have all this old archaic, old school things that are not healthy to mankind that they need to stop. Yes, he might be getting contribution from that. He feels like he's contributing to society. Right? What about connection? Is he getting some type of connection from the public? Right? Can we kind of use that interchangeably with validation? It feels validated by the public, right? Toby says 3, 4, and 5. Let me see what that is. 3 is significance. I agree. 4, connection. Yes. Significance, like validation can get stuck between significance and connection right there, right? 5, growth. I think he might think he's getting growth, but I'm not sure if he's getting growth. I don't think he's aware of how this world functions, right? This world is a marketplace, an active marketplace, has no mercy. Yes, people are looking to take you over, destroy you, take over your territory, whatever. I don't know. Just think of that. That's just how this life works, okay? Including when you feel like you're contributing. This is your way of feeling like you're above other people. Okay? For the most part, at least. Okay. Glamola, shout out to Glamola. She says 3, 4, and 6. That's contribution, right? Right. So I would say definitely not certainty. I don't think he cares for certainty. I don't think so. Variety, no. You're right. 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think that's what it is, you know. Ola you say his mom's vengeance and all the others. Yeah, yeah. So all of that is triggering some of this stuff, right? The contribution I think is very strong. He feels like he's helping, but not necessarily, you know, not necessarily. Because again, we're talking about an institution. Maybe it's contributing a little bit in helping that institution move forward to adjust their way of doing things. Maybe. Because they can't keep doing things like they did 600 years ago. That's just not going to work. That's not sustainable. But also I'm forced to see that he's not emotionally there, but maybe he needs to be like that in order to fulfill his purpose. Maybe. That's why I keep saying these things are not about right and wrong. I just want you to be aware so that you're guided and you don't think, oh, I'm just going to be a prophet and get away with it. Some of the biggest prophets that we know in the history of mankind, they got rid of them. You're not, this is not a child's play. Okay. So when you run your mouth, be guided. Hopefully you know the magnitude of what you're pulling on yourself. Okay. It's really par for the course that he's behaving in the bitter and delusionary way. So think about it. When a person is bitter, even if they are bitter from a place of authenticity, like somebody really hurt them, right? But it's still valid. They have a valid reason for being bitter. What do you think they're going to do to themselves if they don't find their route to healing fast? They're going to self-destruct. They will end up in McDonald's, precisely. Okay?
You will end up in McDonald's.
All right. So this world is nobody's mate. Just be guided. That's all I'm saying. That's all I am saying. Let me see here. Is there more to it? Yeah, I think that was it. But yes, I just want you to pay attention. Keep watching him and pay attention to the things I'm saying. It's not that he's wrong. Remember, I don't tell people that they're wrong here, right?
You're right.
Yeah, it's not that he's wrong, right? It's just that he can be prosecuted for that.
You know you can be prosecuted for that.
All right, so let's move on to the next story, shall we? All right, welcome back. Somebody said, Toby and Tribe says, I'm going to cover this story. This story is on Linda KG, 22-year-old socialite, Maya, engaged after a few days. I want to cover that story, but let me read your comments really quickly. He's done a bit of healing and he's trying to change the unconscious bias that exists in the royal family. Yeah, that's the contribution aspect of it, right? Sarah is a pot calling kettle black. That's her name. Is that the person? That's the sister-in-law, right? She is not a good messenger. She is chasing clout. I bet she is. Right? Harry wants people to have a deep insight of what is going on in the institution. Yeah, I know. I do see, like I said, that's why I went into the 6 basic human needs. I do think it's coming from an authentic place. I just don't think he's completely aware of the magnitude of what he's doing. And I don't think I don't think these are wise moves for an average man, right? Where's Kanye West? Where's Andrew Tate? Let me just come out and make noise and just talk the truth. No, 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 no. There's a good chance that this is coming from a very selfish place. You're not considering everything involved. You're not considering everything involved. And I think Meghan Markle is going to get to a point she's going to start to get embarrassed by his behavior. We'll see how that plays out, shall we? Right? So let's see. So this story right here, it's on Linda. Shout out to Linda AKG again. I found it on Linda AKG. I don't think she's the originator of it, but 22-year-old socialite Maya, is it Jesus or Jesus? Right? I think it's Jesus, right? Engaged to an older man after almost a month of talking and a few days of dating. There are some people on the internet that says you should go from talking stage to marriage. Right? That dating is useless, it's pointless. People use it to commit sin, commit adultery, commit pashaga, commit what you may call it, to commit what's the other one? Agberi, fornication, right? So a lot of people are saying that, hold on one second. Let me just make sure. All right, so 22-year-old Angolan socialite Maya Jesus has announced her engagement to an older man after almost a month of talking and a few days of dating. She described the older man as her best friend. Hold on one second. Let me just all right. Let's keep going. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. All right. So she described the older man as her best friend, love, and true soulmate. Maya added that she always knew that the person she would finally say yes to would come easy, with no struggle, no questioning, no pains or breaks. Those are the things I want to highlight, okay? A couple of things here. She described the older man as best friend, love, a true soulmate. Some people are getting triggered right now. Like, soulmate. No, you gotta be intentional. You gotta be a little bit more intentional than that, right? Maya added that she always knew that the person she would finally say yes to would come easy. Okay, so one, best friend. Okay, I want to know your thoughts about this, by the way. I want to know what your thoughts are about this. Okay, please let me know what your thoughts are. I'm going to list them out right now. Okay, one, best friend. Second, love. Three, true soulmate. Okay, and she had it. Let's continue, right? Would come easy. That's number 4. Number 5, with no struggle. That's number, is that number 5? Wait, I'm losing count here. Best friend, love, true soulmate, right? Easy, with no struggle, number 5. No questioning, number 6. No pains or break, number 7, right? What are your thoughts about this 7 criteria, right? Okay, so while you are leaving your thoughts, let me read the full statement. I said yes. I said yes to my best friend, my love, true soulmate, after almost a month of talking and a few days of dating, meaning they went on a few dates. It's not even dating. They went on a few dates, right? So they went from talking stage to engagement. I always knew that the person I would finally say yes to would come easy. No struggle, no questioning, no pains or breaks. I knew I wouldn't have to go through a lot. I want to know your thoughts. What's in your train of thoughts right now as you're reading this, right? I don't care where you're coming from. Just tell me what is in your thoughts. I wouldn't have lowered my standards to deserve a long-lasting love. This is what she expected, that she wouldn't need to lower her standard, right? Some people are reading that, it's like, yes, girl, don't lower your standard, right? Even though everyone's standard or how they interpret standard varies from people to people, right? All right. So it's safe to say I manifested you. Listen, manifestation is ending up in poto these days. I'm just warning you, okay? But I hear you. You should speak to life what you want, right? You came with no warnings and loved me the way nobody else ever did. They all tend to come that way initially, but maybe you're right. I don't know, right? Um, you understood all my love languages. Yeah. I did not have to tell you what type of man I like. You came and showed me what type of man you are. I always say you remind me of nobody, and that's the truth. You're everything I've ever dreamed of. The most patient, loving, and kind man I know. Mhm. This is all sweet, right? This is all nice, right? Like we should just congratulate her because why not, right? Um, you're everything I've ever dreamed of. Okay, patient, love, and kind. Man, I know when I count my blessings, I count you twice. This is so sweet. Oh, you're my best cheerleader, and you always strengthen my faith. I couldn't ask for a more handsome and God fearing man. The real definition of a man wants to, or of if a man wants to, he will, and that God always has the best saved for us. And when it's God's timing, nobody can stop it. I love you so much, and I only hope the best for us. This is the photo shoot, okay? This looks like a photo shoot, right? I don't think this was the date. This looks like a photo shoot, right? We manifested each other. We prayed to find each other. And from day one, it just felt right. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. 2 months in, a lifetime to go. I love you, Zaddy. Zaddy. That's them right there. Nice photo shoot. Very, very cute. You know. Chima says, lucky her. Congratulations to her. Love should be easy and painless. Either party need not suffer. Okay. Not everything is about money. You may be surprised that she is richer as an influencer. Okay, some people are accusing her of wanting this man because of money, you know. So that's why this person say, not everything is about money. There is the internal peace that comes when you meet the one. I know I had nothing to worry about when I meet my husband. He was older, but I was richer. I was always, okay, your name is anonymous. I don't believe you, by the way. But I was always seeking for something that I could not explain until I meet him. 10 years and 4 kids later, I still have no fear. Maximum 5 years to enjoy the thing before he starts to face south and drip. Ha! This is evil. Eliyoda. This person says maximum 5 years to enjoy the thing before he start to face south and drip. Nyama. No young woman go fit after 5 years added to that guy's age. Marrying for money is the worst thing that could happen to a woman in her 20s. If you doubt me, ask your mama to fiakwa. Yeah, this is not looking good. The girl has boob implants. How do people know this? The picture? How do people? Oh, okay, it does look like it. But let's keep going. The girl has boob implants. The man is fine. Mature men of 40 years and about are better to date. They are more intellectual and have less drama. I need a surgeon's number. A surgeon's number ASAP. Those breasts are really worth it. Every penny she spent on them. I beg, hold on 1 second. Let me see here. All right. Let's see. Let me see what you all are talking about. Yeah. Uh, I totally agree, Mr. Allah. I feel he has taken it as his destiny and purpose. Okay. Yeah, that's probably a purpose thing. If she likes it, I love it. 1 month is too early though. But peace and love to them. Amen. Amen. I agree with that. But 1 month, you know. But remember what I said here yesterday? Somebody said, how early is too early to detect red flags? I say you can detect red flags in 2 sentences, right? So really, you shouldn't be looking at red flag to determine if it's going to last forever or not. Okay, it's day to day for the rest of your life. You measure day to day. You're just trying to be better than yesterday. So we can't really use the fact that it's been only 1 month to determine anything, right? But we also know something about getting to know people, which we all agree you should get to know people, right? You can't really know enough to make all this assertion about them in 1 month. Highly unlikely. But the feelings can come that quick. This is the difference between feeling and the reality, right? She's telling the truth. She's telling her truth. You can absolutely make a woman feel like she's known you forever, for a long time. You can make her feel like, where have you been all my life? Yes, gentlemen, you can, okay? Because I'm telling you, the dating scene is really, really just dirty right now. And all you have to do is stand out. All you have to do is not repeat stupid talking points. If you do that, you're actually like light years ahead of most people. And an average woman right now can pick that apart and say, wow. Because everything else they see is just nasty, people talking down on women, people ready to make themselves feel better, regardless of if their woman in their society feels terrible or not. Right? That's what we have. All you have to do is wherever you find yourself, just stand out. And then you can have a woman feeling, in fact, on day one, day two, if she doesn't feel this way, you're probably doing something wrong. So this story is not about her if she doesn't know enough or anything like that. It's not about that. It's about highlighting that she's feeling this good about this man. The Nigerian society, the people on the blogs are saying she's only there for money. Yeah, she doesn't need to highlight all of that because of money. There are more than enough girls taking pictures on yachts and stuff like that, right? It could be. I'm just saying it's not necessarily true, right? What I'm saying is that whatever, you don't have to do photo shoots like this one. No, you don't have to look like your breasts are standing upright like this one right here. Right? It doesn't have to be before you can make a person feel like they've known you all their lives. Right? I love your money bag. Oh God, my head is swell. This girl knows how to praise someone, Sha. That's another thing. So, do you think if you can praise a man like this, ladies, if you can praise a man and use this type of words, do you think he will manifest it? Is it possible? To some extent, right? Do you think you should lie even if he's not doing these things? No, you shouldn't lie. But what I'm saying is that if you take your attention off of looking for red flags, if you look for some green flags, we just pointed out some green flags right now, right? If you just look for it, is it a nice, kind man? Can I see myself with this person for the future? Can I see children with this person for the future? If these are the questions you're asking, as opposed to, is he one of the people from the manosphere, right? If you can switch your mindset, yes, you might just end up manifesting more of it. Because Yoruba people say, "Eniba dupe oriano, ari miba." That's always true. That's a fact of life. Hit that like button, I beg. Hit that like button. Hopefully it's all true and not just hype. If so, go for it. Sometimes you could just, it's how you see it. See, what may not be big deal for you can become a big deal for another person, right? When the words she's using, I mean, look at the words she's using, right? They're all vague in nature, right? They're all vague, right? Best friend. A person doesn't have to be perfect before you see them as a best friend. That could be a function of how you brought yourself. Maybe you've gone through healing and you're just in a good state of mind that you're able to see a person as a best friend. There's some people, no matter how much you try to be their best friend, you can't, they're not gonna see you as best friend. Love, isn't that based on your own interpretation of love, right? It's it's like vague language, right? A true soulmate, isn't that just somebody's opinion of how they feel, right? So when you say hopefully it's true, it, to her, you might even see their experience from the outside, or maybe they don't hold hands in public, and you feel like it's not true. She's capping. It can actually be true for her, right? So it depends on what you do with this information or with your ability to see the best in people, right? Provided they're not just randomly a douche, right? If they're a douche, they're a douche. But I'm saying, can you, in a typical person, can you do you know how to recognize love when you see one? Gentlemen, do you know how to recognize a feminine man in 2023? Or all you see is just masculine women everywhere? That may be your problem. That may be your personal problem, right? And she goes on to say, comes easy. If she's a person that's just looking for trouble everywhere and she doesn't carry her own peace of mind, nothing's gonna come easy for her, right? Nothing, right? Okay, maybe she's talking all about money. No, I doubt it. I think there are more than enough girls that are dating men for men and they don't have to say all of this. They just have to take care of him in the bedroom and and they don't, and they will get a ring too, right? But I don't know them. I could be wrong. I'm just highlighting how powerful words are and how you can use them in your favor to manifest, right? Lose the photo shoot and all that and the standing breast and all that. What I'm saying is that your words are powerful. When you pay attention to how you use your words, you might end up manifesting more of what you're looking for, what you desire, the result you're looking to create, right? So it's if it's not money, then it's what? Yeah, men do with that too. Mhm. The space is overly round. What space? It sounds mean, but it's factual. That type of age gap, the young woman will soon start looking for young men outside. Yeah, maybe, right? More importantly, people can feel like that in a short period of time. How old is she exactly? I don't think they mentioned her age. I didn't get it. But hey, Sherry, is that namaste? I'm not namaste. Is that what that is? I can't see the emojis. Good to see you, Sherry. I have a close friend who was married to an older man. Years started looking outside for attention for guys closer to her age. That's a real thing for certain type of people. That's true. I don't advocate for big age gaps. Anything over 10 years, you're pushing it. I don't advocate for it personally. Okay. But there are some exceptions out there that have done it very well. Okay. I think Uncle Olu Jacobs is 80 years of age. I think the wife is a little bit over 60. That's much more than 10 years. So it can last. It's just in general. If you had options, it's better that to be able to, to relate with the same um, to be able to relate with the same pop culture and stuff like that, fashion, sense of humor, and stuff like that. It's just better because there's already so many forces against you, you know. So I can definitely believe that. Gracious greatness is Ogala, your facial expression though. Is he someone from the manosphere? I don't know. I don't know. Uh I have no idea. I feel like everyone is from the manosphere these days. Who knows? You know. But no, I'm just saying. You if you can make a woman feel this in the first date, second date, it's possible. That's what you're looking to do. That's what you want to pay attention to over time. You just need to basically stand out. Okay, stand out doesn't mean you remove yourself physically from anything. It means the way you think. Ask more questions. Don't be so quick to run with a popular rhetoric, right? Because there's a good chance that it's popular because it's polarized and It's negative in nature, you know. That's all I'm saying. All right, so I have some more stories to cover. Let's get to it.
Percentage.
All right, let's watch this short video. My wife posted this earlier on the Lola and Ola Instagram page. I thought it was fascinating. I thought we should talk about it, right? There's a study I was trying to pull up before we started the show, but it skipped my mind. But we'll talk about that later. I will find it. I will talk about it. But we're talking about dating right now, okay? And I want to bring us up to speed with some reality a little bit, right? We need to keep an open mind, but we also need to be aware of a few things. So I'm going to play this video for you, and I want to know your thoughts as you are watching it. Let's get to it.
What percentage of people do you think today meet their spouse on a dating app?
Like 40?
80%.
80!
80%. So we have to understand, what percentage of people do you think today meet their spouse on a dating app?
Like 40?
80%.
80!
80%.
All right, so here's my question for you. How would you interpret this? What would you, if you were in the dating scene today, what would you do with this information? I'm looking at the chats. What would you do with this information if you were advising a person that's trying to date and they're looking for a spouse today? How would you interpret this? What would this mean to you, right? What percentage of people meet their spouse online today, right? How would you interpret this? I'm looking. How would you interpret this, right? 80% of people meet their spouse online today. If you have this information, if you have a young niece, the young niece is 27 years of age, and they're like, I don't know, I haven't really met anyone. I'm just, I'm taking my time. Like, oh, do you want to meet somebody? No, I'm open, right? What would you do with this information, right? If you knew that 80% of people that are getting married, they met their spouse online, what would you do with that information? Out of every other place where you can meet people, right? You can meet people in church. You can meet people at your company, seminars, events, live events. I suggest that, by the way. You can meet people in the mosque. You can meet people at the grocery stores, right? You can meet people at the Yanokbaja, you can meet people anywhere, right? But 80% are meeting online today. What would you do with this information? What would you do with this information? Toby and Tribe says, join a dating app. Okay. All right. Ola Olatuji says, give a try and buy your research. I'm not sure what you mean by that. And D-Law says, I believe it. Where else would you meet someone? Most people work from home now, and we're all getting less social. Yeah. Ola Olatuji says, the church brothers are worse. The church brothers are just people. I guess, right? Glam Ola says, add online to the mix. Do we find that a lot of people are still shying away from having a profile on online dating apps? Do we find that a lot of people still feel some type of way about it? Many of them, a lot of people do create profiles on there. It's just that they don't put their faces, they don't put their pictures, and stuff like that. But they just kind of like go in there sneak. But there's this level of confidence and courage that you need to put your face with your full chest, especially if you're a person of certain age, on social media, right? What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Oh, do your research. Do your research. Of course, because of social media. Uh-huh. Yeah, so we become less emotional and more AI. That's a good way to say it. I'm gonna have to steal that from you. Becoming less emotional, or we pretend to be less emotional, or we think we are less emotional. We have an illusion that we are less emotional. We try to do this AI behavior thing, and it just doesn't work, right? Um, D Love says there's no shame in it. I agree 100%. There's no shame if you're a single person, but I acknowledge that it takes a certain level of courage for certain types of people. There's no shame in it, right? That's that's where we are. 80% of people are finding their spouse online. But I need to talk about the online thing and what that means, right? Gracious Goodness says meet people at the library, at the museum, on the bus, on the plane, on the train. Back in the days, or people sit on a plane with people for 2 3 hours flight. They don't even talk to each other now. Have you noticed that? Like back in the days, you open up a chat, you start chatting like, hey, I like that. Hey, where are you going to? People like these days, no one is doing that. It's a good way to stand out. You could start doing that now. You could stand out. Like just, hello, my name is Ola. You live in New York, or you're going back home? Which one? Just spark off a conversation. I like your shoes. I like your shirts, right? Oh, I've always looked to buy that kind of earphones. Where did you buy it from? How much is it? Start the conversation. We're becoming less and less social. But the truth is that we still see people, right? We're not just AI, right? But we know the numbers now. 80% of people are meeting their spouse online. By the way, there's a study that I'm trying to show of where the study is about people, the marriages that last the longest, where they're meeting. And there was a study of how people meet in like 6 different places. Online was one of them. I would like to bring that up because that's going to be useful for you. So the fact that people are meeting their spouse online doesn't mean the marriages are lasting. It doesn't mean that, right? So that's another one that I'm going to bring back later. Ola at the Asalatu. Yeah, I'm sorry. Eshanomi. Pardon me. There are some registered dating business as well. Those are very good, but they cost money, and they don't necessarily create better results. On the bus, okay, you must be in the UK. We don't get bus like that in the USA. Well, it depends on what part of USA you are. If you're in New York City, you do see the train and the bus as well, right? But yeah, you're right. Most people in the USA are not on the bus. And there's also socioeconomic stigma on the bus thing. Yes, you have to make sure that, yeah, to really start talking to people on the bus, you have to be a strong one. Or you can meet on the Man of Prestige channel, which is technically online. Ain't exactly. I was about to say you can meet people in the chats, right? You can meet people on Instagram. You go on my Instagram page, you comment on my stuff that I put up there. I put short clips, the shorts and the reels. You comment, people hit your face like that. They go inside and they slide in your DM. That's all part of online. So online is not necessarily dating app where you a dating app where you put your face. That's not necessarily what it means. Sometimes it's just in the right in the you're looking at comments. The comments is one of the most entertaining place online, right? Like don't like forget the video. You go under the comments or you go in the chat. It's one of the most entertaining places where you see certain behavior and characters, but also you can tap into people's face, especially on Instagram, and you can go down the rabbit hole of their page and you might just find a good thing, gentlemen. Right? So all of that is all online. Maybe you are in the online church, in the chats of the online church. Right? Those are all online, right? In a forum somewhere, right? On a webinar somewhere, right? You're actually learning maybe about your industry. All of that is called online, right? Maybe even email is still considered online, but you get the gist. It could be anything online. It doesn't have to be dating apps. Nonetheless, I don't think if you're a man or woman of a certain age, you should have a profile on the dating app. Okay. But also the dating apps are different from dating app to dating app. Some of them are for the for the most part hookups. I'm sure that's not what most of you are looking for. You're looking for serious situation. But 80% they'll be beans. They'll be your mates. We need to really do research so we don't meet the Debo of this world from Facebook. Yeah, you need to get to know that normal human beings are all online. If you meet a Debo, a lot of that accountability has to go to you. Okay. If you meet, because Debo also came off of online at some point and you met him in person and you didn't pick up certain things that your spirit should have picked up, red flags that your spirit should have picked up, you have to take accountability for that. If you end up meeting a Debo, right? The truth is that a Debo can only pretend for so long. You start seeing some things that rub you up the wrong way, you should be able to pick that up. And if you stay in it because you feel less than, you have low self-esteem and stuff like that, the best way to come out of that is still to hold yourself accountable, because that's the only route to growth. But good people they're all online, all of them, every single one of them. Okay, if they're not online, that's a red flag. Okay. Personally, it's not for me because I believe in the whole way of jamming. Well, the study I'm going to review later on, when hopefully I remember to bring it up, shows that the people that met through mutual friends that they know in life actually last the longest. Okay, but I will find that study and show it to you. Okay, the people that meet through mutual friends, people that they know on a personal level. So some of you that may be in the dating scene right now, these conversations become awkward for you with your family and friends because you don't want them to shame you. You don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear the auntie. Whereas the auntie is the person you should be engaging. And don't take this too seriously and say, auntie, share lock off for me. Let me know I'm open. Right? Auntie, if you have a beautiful girl that you think is a wife material, let me know I'm open. If you're a man or woman of certain age, you have to be that confident. Confidence is sexy. Okay, and and also they probably will bother you less, especially that you're open-minded like that, right? They won't come from a place that you also get irritated. I understand why it's irritating for everybody to say, where's husband, where's all the time. I get it. But the downside of it is that you will shy away from the people that can actually introduce you to some good people. And based on studies I just told you, the longest lasting are people within, because they tend to come from their same circles, and it's highly unlikely that someone will come from your inner circle and act like a Debo. It's very, very unlikely. Okay, some of them do, but it's unlikely. Okay, it might be a wise idea to open an online account if you're really serious. Yeah, but I will put more energy in talking to my favorite uncles, my favorite aunties, family members, and just keep an open mind and don't be so, because the more you shy away from that, the more you get irritated about the fact that they bother you about not being married, the higher the chances you will attract more of it, right? Of the irritation, right? But if you keep an open mind and just say, it is what it is, I'm 35, I'm 32, I'm 43, I'm not married, it's not really new. There's nothing new about that right now in 2023, right? And auntie says, so kilo wan shele gba ola ma je jollof rice. And you can just see on your face instantly, you're angry. That is probably part of the problem. Okay? That is probably part of the problem. Right? No, jollof rice. I get jollof rice soon. Just keep praying for me. Shele yoni. You know somebody. That's the most sexiest thing you can do ever. I don't know if you're aware, right? You know somebody. No, I didn't know what you will hear for the most part is I didn't know you were open. Okay? I didn't know you were open. Because honestly, they don't really want to offend you either. Some of them don't really care, but some of them also don't want to offend you. Okay? So, but how does one jam in person without appearing creepy? My guy, creepy BT Bawo. They toast people. I have to toast people need. What creepy concept? What creepy help? If you see somebody you like, you say you like them. Ask them what their name is. Creepy beats about. Maybe you'll continue, as I see you tagged Toby and Tribe. Maybe you'll continue a different conversation. But no. We don't worry about being creepy. We go for what we want, gentlemen, and we make our assertions, make it clear, and we're okay if it's a no. Okay? I believe in fate, letting Cupid do his thing. I say it's the aunties and the uncles, but ironically, Mario, good to see you. Good to see you. Let's. I think I have one more story here. Let's get into it. This no music in the background is pretty awkward for me. I have to be honest, but I pulled it off. But I gotta see about these people fixing it once and for all, because that's what brought us to this stage. That's just brought us to where we are right now. All right, so let's cover this last story and then call it a day.
Remember that you're
All right. So how many of you know who what's her name? Almost Tivavi. What's her name? I forget. What's her name again? Tivavi's daughter. Anybody know in the chats? What's Tivavi's daughter's name? Stepdaughter. Something like that. I want chop a toast and jam. Na joke, I joke. Need a toast Bessie. What's Tivavi's daughter's name? What's her name? Something. Is it Ivy? Ivy? No, it's not Ivy. What's her name? She get dragged online so much. Lori, thank you, Lori Harvey. Yeah. So she has something to say here. They were dragging her online for this. Well, the manosphere was dragging her. To be honest, I don't think the women were dragging. The women were like, "Yeah, girl, yeah." Right, but yeah, she's I want to know, I have a question before I play this video, because she has her own little explanation. Before I play this video, who do you think should be the price in a relationship? Who should be the price in a relationship? That's the question that she's not answering it. They asked her a question about what advice Tivavi gave to her. But then it became a point of, I don't know. We're just in that space. People argue about every little thing, right? Which should be the price in a romantic relationship, the man or the woman, right? Who is the price in the marriage, the man or the woman? And what does it mean when you say who is the price? Like, I know what price means, but now in the context of a romantic relationship, who is the price? I'm always confused with the conversation, but maybe after I hear her, I will. Let me play the video anyway.
just remember that you're the prize always. Say that.
So the question is, what was the best advice that Sivavi gave her? And that was the advice.
Just remember that you're the prize always.
Say that one more time.
You see, if I didn't tell you where the answer came from, you see how easy it is to take her out of context, right? It's like she's advising somebody. No, she's actually relaying the advice she got from her father, her stepfather, right? So let me play it again.
Just remember that you're the prize always.
Say that one more time.
Just remember that you are the prize.
Yes.
That's like his
Yes.
golden slogan for me.
Yeah. And what does that mean for you in relationships when you're like, I'm the prize? What does that mean?
It just means not compromising like my values, my happiness, my peace, not settling for less than what I know I deserve, and not being afraid to walk away from a situation if it's like no longer serving me.
Oh Lord. All right. So she told you what she meant, right? She said not compromising Is that a good thing, not compromising? The idea that you can't compromise in a relationship, is that a good thing? That's another question for you, right? The two people entering the relationship are the prize. Is that what you say? Okay. All right. I can't argue with that. It's very, very hard for me to argue with that. The two people has to be the price. Now, but isn't it depending on why people are asking what's the price in the first place? Right? Why is somebody even wanting to know who is the price? It's almost like who should we, if everybody has to, if this was the Titanic, we should stay on the boat and we should just go with the storm, right? That's the real question here, right? Because I agree with what you just said, but we should be on the boat and we should, what's the price? What's the price? Now true I talk for UK them the starring is no. That's a problem of not knowing how to read the room. You should still be able to toast to women. You should be able to approach women and tell them you like them. This is no. I disagree. If you're being accused of sexual harassment, it's probably because, yeah, you're probably being inappropriate. Now, unless, or you're in a very inappropriate position, right? Doesn't mean you mean any harm, but in a very compromising position. People are not just walking randomly around and saying, "Hey, when you toast me," you say, no. Now, gracious greatness. The prize is the relationship itself. You both win, in my opinion. Okay, but that's not what she just said.
Just remember
right?
that you're the prize always.
Say
I
that
think
one more time.
Just remember that you are the prize.
Yes.
You are
That's
the
like
prize.
his
No, so here's my question: if this type of girl, if you didn't know she was Lori Harvey, if you didn't know her story before, right, and this type of chick is kind of giving you attention, right? She's a fine girl, right? And she start giving you attention, right? Uh, you wouldn't see her as a prize. Okay, the scripture says, "He who finds a wife, right, finds a good thing." Can that be used interchangeably with prize, right? That's really the conversation. Like, it's very clear that the relationship is the price. I agree with that 100 percent. But the conversation is like, who, if we had to pick one, who is the price? If you had to pick one.
golden slogan for me.
Yeah. And what does that mean for you in relationships when you're like, I'm the prize? What does that mean?
It just means not
That's a fantastic question. Because a lot of people, they don't even pay attention to listen to what that means in a relationship. They're just like, no, you're not the prize. You're not the prize. It becomes that argument when they say, who found Jesus first after the resurrection? It's woman, it's man, it's like all that. It becomes like, it becomes a stupid gender war talking point again. Who is the prize? Fundamentally, I agree that the relationship itself is the prize, but who should feel like the prize, right? If you are the woman, would you want to feel like the prize? If you were the woman, would you want your husband to feel like the prize? Would you want them to feel like they're the prize? If you were a husband, right, and you see this fine ass chick giving you attention, and you're like, I think I just found my wife, would you want her to feel like the prize? If you don't want her to feel like the prize, emotional intelligence means you're able to process your own emotions first. What kind of emotions is raging through you that you will want this kind of girl to not feel like the prize? That you won't be able to say, our father told her that she's the prize. Does that make sense? Like somebody said, the father is old fashioned, right? I think I just saw that. Her father is old fashioned, so I understand he wants her to value herself. Would you want your partner to value themselves? All right, so why are we arguing who is the prize? Who's not the prize? Who should feel like, well, these women don't need to feel like the prize. They belong to the street. Like, really? That's lame talk. That's lame talk. I know exactly where the question is coming from. Okay, it's people that need to make other people feel less than before they can feel wholesome, before they can feel their own sense of value. It's a bad idea. You will self-destruct. You will end up in McDonald's.
You will end up in McDonald's.
All right, so it depends. I know why it started. Women were chasing men, and people were writing think pieces to help the women know their worth. But the internet turned it to gender wars. Exactly, Marriott. Honestly, I got turned off this girl when there was a rumor she dated Puffy after dating her son. I think she actually this she debunked that rumor in this particular interview, but that's not part of the conversation. Let me play the rest of it.
Say that one more time.
Just remember that you are the prize.
Yes.
That's like his golden slogan for me.
Yeah. And what does that mean for you in relationships when you're like, I'm the prize? What does that mean?
It just means not compromising like my values, my happiness, my peace, not settling for less than what I know I deserve, and not being afraid to walk away from a situation if it's like no longer serving me.
Yes, so
Golden.
I completely agree with you, Toby and Tribe. Relationships is a relationship is a dance, right? It's a dance. The idea is that we're in a dance together, right? And people just need to stay focused on that, making sure they create a smooth dance. You give, you receive. You give, you receive. You give, you receive. But typically, somebody is leading the dance, right? Somebody is flipping on somebody's arms, right? So if you're going to compete with each other, your legs will be fighting each other, and it's a problem. And that's where this type of talking points has become those days. Honestly, I got turned off. Okay, we already read that. Say hello, introduce yourself, apologize for interrupting, compliment her, and ask if you can call her sometime. Yeah, no one is going to interpret that as if they interpret that as sexual harassment, there should be more than enough evidence around to show that she's just crazy. The end. Then do this at work. Don't do this at work unless she asks you out. Even at work, you can. It just all depends. You just have to not learn how to read vibes and read the room, and you can start with people sleep with each other in the break rooms. I beg, stop the cap. Only she in that case, woman is prize. You would end up in McDonald's. Yes. She denied it, but she's a professional girlfriend either for clouds. Yeah, that's her personal life. That's why I said people should pretend like you didn't know her, right? But she's in that industry. It's a very small world in that industry. I'm not giving excuses for her. I'm sure there's a good chance she's for the streets because that lifestyle is, I'm not familiar with it, okay? But I'm just saying in general, this conversation is about who's the prize, the man or the woman, right? Your goal is that your partner feels like they're the prize, okay? Your goal is to make sure your partner feels like the prize, okay? If they're not feeling like the prize, you will end up in McDonald's.
You will end up in McDonald's.
All right, so let's go ahead and finish off the session with Peter Obi, shall we? Let's talk about Peter Obi. I don't talk politics here a lot, but he said something that I thought we should review. Let's get into it.
Absolutely. So you're getting more customers.
All right, so earlier today, I just before this show, I just stumbled into a AY comedy, who is the elder brother to Yomi Kajo, the guy we covered the other day. Probably the biggest comedian, probably the richest. Is it the richest comedian in Nigeria? Probably, right? But at least as far as popularity is concerned, it's probably the most popular, right? He had Peter Obi on. And Peter Obi said something that sounded like music to my ears. To be honest with you, up till he said this earlier today, I'm like, yeah, we don't need a Peter Obi. I'm being honest. Shout out to Amoya's Corner. Okay? I'm like, yeah, like, nah. But he said this, and I'm like, if he wins, there's big hope for Nigeria. First of all, that would be a big statement that Nigerians know how to get out of toxic relationships. Okay? That would be a good sign that Nigerians know how to. Nigeria they've never gotten out of toxic relationship. It would be the first time ever if it wins. And this is happening in how many more weeks? In a few weeks. The Nigerian presidential election is happening in a few more weeks, right? So, so what did Eunice says? So what did Nigeria need before today? That's an interesting question. They need whoever they vote for. Okay, they need whoever they vote for. For as long as they keep voting for then they deserve what they get. It is what it is. Until they know how to, I can say that at a national level. I think to a large extent it can be true in personal relationships, but I also know that people can be victim of their circumstances. Maybe Nigeria is a victim of his circumstance, but Nigeria, basically, they always pick who they deserve. So if they pick a Peter Obi right now, they deserve it. Anyway, because of this talking point, I personally now have some, I'm like, wait, he knows what he's talking about, because this is something that an average Nigerian, they don't know. An average Nigerian is expecting the president to come there and start fighting and start prosecuting, start prosecuting people that stole money and all that kind of stuff, right?
You know you can be prosecuted for that.
And I don't believe in that. I don't believe in prosecuting people that stole money in Nigeria in the past 10 years. I don't think I don't think it's necessary. I think it's unnecessary high horse, putting yourself on a high horse, thinking that you actually yourself have not been stealing, okay? And he made this statement. I'm like, I like it, okay? So he wants to stop corruption. He's not trying to go after the thief. Let's play the video.
Has to be open, and you're getting more customers, and you make sure that you're selling the existing goods, and don't spend more time in chasing thieves.
Don't spend more time in chasing thieves. Don't spend what? Time. Time is much more valuable than money itself, by the way. And by the way, it's going to cost you time, it's going to cost you money, it's going to cost you energy and resources, right? To chase after the thieves. Why else should you not spend all your energy chasing thieves? Let's keep going.
Because whatever a thief is stolen, some of it they have spent, there's a likelihood you will not recover everything. I'll be very careful. What I want to stop is
Ulysses, you just gave me a politically correct response. I take it that you really like that old chap. No. No. I just think he has I think he has a better chance of winning because of the forces fight, not the flesh. Because of your own forces in Nigeria. Now me go tell you who you should vote for. I don't live in Nigeria, unfortunately. Or fortunately, whichever one you see that as. But listen, Nigerians have their reasons for voting for the same old cargoes. Okay? They have their own reasons for chasing the same old cargo, right? And it's just arrogant of me to come and be telling you who to vote for.
stop the cap.
But you're right. I did believe that that Tinubu probably had a better chance of fixing Nigeria. Not because it's holy. It's because what Nigeria needs when it comes to economy is money to be flowing through the system, regardless of how. Okay. What Nigeria needs more so than ever before right now is consistent trading, money trading hands, money exchanging hands, without any interruption from anybody who is trying to chase the thieves, which is why I love this statement. This was one single reason why I would pick a Tinubu over. I felt until I heard this statement today that this guy would be busy chasing thieves, and I think it's a terrible strategy. So again, you're hearing it right now. Just by hearing this today, I feel like it's won me over, but it doesn't matter because I'm not going to be voting. Okay, I'm just saying. All right. But you're right. I was capping. I was probably, I was probably like that guy, just off my assessment so far, I feel like this one is like, yeah, but based on what I'm hearing right now, I think he understands that it's not about coming there and acting like I'm holier than thou. It's about understanding how nations work, how resources exchange hands, and how to get the nation working again. That's the key thing. If you run into those streets and you start chasing thieves, it's like you could literally call anybody a thief. Are you aware of that? You can literally find something in somebody's records because of the lifestyle in Nigeria, because everyone is involved in one scheme or the other, oftentimes not directly, but still involved. You can literally call anyone a thief. So he's going to also speak more to that right now.
You would have lost what is remaining in the shop because they will expire, and you lose customers.
You would have lost what is remaining in the shop chasing thieves because they will expire. Everything in life expire, including the fact that they were thieves. In fact, an average person in Nigeria can be said to be a thief because they enjoy what comes. If you're an elite, if you're listening to me and you're in Nigeria right now on the fast internet, you're elite. You're considered elite by majority of the population. Somebody's going to call you a thief, okay? Because you're probably enjoying some kind of benefits that you really should not be enjoying, if things were straightforward, right? So again, the Eruto on the shop will expire if you're busy chasing thieves. Who do we know that expired because he's been busy chasing thieves, even though it's also cap, right? Baba Boo Boo has been busy chasing thieves, at least he claims, right? He expired inside that place.
Customer, I'm a trader. Your shop has to be open, and you're getting more customers. And you make sure that you're selling the existing goods, and don't spend more time in chasing thieves. Because whatever a thief is stolen, some of it they have spent, there's a likelihood you will not recover everything.
Some of it have been spent into the marketplace. You're not going to recover everything, right? If somebody takes your bag in the marketplace or Jabalogun, and they take your bag and they run away, sometimes it's best to leave it alone. Am I lying? Right? So if you want to start chasing them down the streets, do you not put yourself at even more harm's way? Right? Same concept. Right? Same concept.
I'll be very careful. What I want to stop is stop people from stealing any longer. Look at the government that came in and said they want to chase thieves. People stole more.
Yep.
I want to stop people from stealing any longer and then focus on tomorrow. No matter what you think Nigeria have lost, there's more that you can get for tomorrow. I'm a believer in tomorrow. Those who are consumed by yesterday and today will miss tomorrow. Tomorrow is the only dynamic thing. I want to change Nigeria by doing the right thing. Imagine if the present government have drawn the line, like I always say, and use the resources, including the borrowed resources, to invest in the future. It would have been far better. In 2015, we were owing about 15 trillion. Our per capita is about 2,550. Today, we are owing 75 trillion. Our per capita is 2,000. I would have doubled that by focusing on tomorrow. I want to fix education. I want to fix health. And that is why I said I'm not going to be consumed by tomorrow. So don't close.
All right. All right. This one is funny to me. We're rounding up right now. This one is funny to me. No, you know, lie, because they can turn back to call you thief. Imagine that. They can turn back and say, is it Jesus Christ? Again, these principles are timeless. Okay. they're involved in politics, power, right? Relationships. You just have to be a little bit wiser than 1 and 0, black and white. You need to be a little bit wiser than that because everyone knows what white and black and white is. And you just have to understand that life doesn't operate off of black and white. There's a lot of nuances in between. There's gray, there's red, there's blue, there's a lot going on in between. And your only best bet is to pay attention to real time, learning how to read real time. You still need to make an example of thieves. Let me see here. Oh my God, these people are acting up to do. Oh wow, okay. It still needs to make an example of thieves though, to serve as a deterrent for future thieving. So if they make new laws, if the laws are still the laws and you are stealing during this time, you will make an example of those. The idea is to not go back into the past and be looking through records and be chasing people and say, no, it's not going to work. It's going to, the people that will spend the most is going to scare them. People won't be able to spend money, and you need people to be able to spend money. Okay. Now, there's a balance between what I'm talking about is the obsession with chasing after thieves because you think that's what people are not supposed to, in general, people are not supposed to know that we can't chase thieves. They're just normal people, right? But you as a leader need to understand that you need to get money flowing. Get money flowing. Yes, thieves do spend money in the marketplace. They will pay taxes as well. And if they're doing it in a way that's obvious in your time that they're hurting other people, yes, they will end up behind bars, right? So no one is saying that in this time he would need to hold people accountable if they steal. But going backwards into yesterday and be pulling out thieves and just making a fool out of the whole country all over again, optics is part of what the country needs. They need to be shining good light and say, Nigeria is waking up there. That's what you need to focus. You need to focus on hope. You need to focus on Nigeria's image all around the world, and you need to focus on money moving hands, right? And if records, if you start going back into the records and start catching thieves, I don't think that's a good leader personally. Okay, because like he said, it's dynamic. You have to be moving. You have to be moving faster than stupid right and wrong rhetorics. You have to be moving. Life is moving too fast. You can't afford to have Nigeria left behind the game for another 8 years, right? So personally, I appreciated the statements today. In addition to the fact that he represents hope for an average Nigerian, and I think he has a good chance. He has, in my opinion, from what I could see, I don't know much, but he has better chance than, I'm about to offend somebody. He has better chances than Atiku. That's from what I can see. I don't know enough to be able to say that, but just from what I could see. If you want to catch thieves, you should also catch kidnappers and ritualists. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you're going to be catching everybody, including AY that brought you to this show. Because AY cannot sit down there and claim that everything is just clean. It's almost impossible that you can do clean business in Nigeria. Almost impossible. I know there are people still trying to do the right thing, but those people also have to cut certain kind of corners to protect themselves, because Nigeria is that society where it's very, very bad. Even the Europe and the abroad too has a deeper level of corruption. Corruption is everywhere. So be guided when you're spending resources on curbing corruption. If that's all you're focused on, you're going to miss it. Babalawo is not the same as ritualist though. Someone who practices Ifa and is, we know what she meant, but I know what you mean too. You're right. Babalawo is just somebody who is the pastor in a traditionalist religion. But, what about the pastors? The one that collect tithes from the thieves. Are they thieves too? The ones that create churches on the road, and the road that leads to the church, no one can drive through the roads. Are those thieves as well? They have their reasons of keeping it that way, Yeah, so let's just be guided, So Eunice says laws and regulations are in place but not implemented. Yeah, so his own job is to come there and start making sure they're being implemented for real time. Don't go backwards. Don't start acting like Buhari, and don't come into the cabinet and you don't have Don't come into Aso Rock and don't have a cabinet ready. That's that right there. Like when that happened in 2015, I was like, wow, this guy's a bad idea. For 6 months, nobody in the cabinet. I was like, this guy's a bad idea. I don't mention name, or now you mention name, but anyway, we've had a good one here today. Tomorrow is gonna be Friday. All right. So make sure that you are inside of the group. You're inside, that you've joined the Proceed family on WhatsApp. Okay. And make sure, and if you are having problem with this particular link on the screen, then you can use this phone number. Okay, it's a US +1 number to join us on WhatsApp. We'll add you to the group. Okay, so we can continue the conversation behind the scenes. Okay, and on your way out, do me a favor, hit that like button, share and subscribe. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for everything you do. Hopefully been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.